Sorry about that, it shut off on me. So you can see here, I'm probably gonna change these out or clean them up. Maybe cover this and maybe try to sandblast that and paint it. See if I can clean that. If I can't clean it, I'm just gonna replace them. Got the RPMs, got the speedometer over here. That other is inside. I took it out for oil, battery, and all that. I took all that out. Dash, you can see all the rust on here. I got to get all this rust off, or try to get all this rust off. I was thinking about just changing out the whole thing, but I don't have the air compressor I need to cut all this with the plasma cutter to make another piece. I may just do something different though, so it's cut different. And maybe use diamond plate up here or something like that. Because there's a rusty spot like right here, but I don't really think it's because you got the round spot right here, but I think this is just the metal over here and not this. Because I'll have to take this off to find out and actually see how that is. So I don't actually think that comes up so far, but I'll work it out on what I do. And I took I took these off. These are off because this one I had to cut out, and the one over there was rusted, so I just actually tore it off, and they're up here. Yeah, they're both like right there. Well, there's a lot I'm gonna change on here. This is the old, the front drive shaft I actually welded back together. But I didn't do the V right in this area. On that, I just welded it in, so it would easily snap again. So you do the drill out on the middle, put another thing in there or whatever, but that's just for backup in case I need to get out of somewhere or something. If I gotta put it in there, you know. This came with it. I may set this back up. I don't know, I'm not for sure. Still gotta do the muffler thing. Tires I want to actually change out. I got these tires over here. They're Jeep tires. Basic, I think they're 16s, I think. Yeah, I think they're 16s. This one's new. Basically, it's just haven't been used. Yeah, they're 16s. These I got on offer up for sale. It's like $125. It's got a brand new tire, or well, used brand new. Used and 3 rims. Plus I got like 2 more sets I'm selling. And then I got a gate over there I'm selling. But I gotta do a lot of work on this. Take these out, clean these up. Figure out what I'm gonna do at some point. But it's gonna take a lot of work to do this, and I got a lot of time, so it doesn't matter. I'll do what I can do when I can do it. You know how all that goes. You can only do what you can do. So I just wanted to show you that, and I'll do whatever I need to do on this, and the engine stuff can wait. I mean, I gotta buy a, hopefully you don't shut off, but let me see if I can put you back in the tripod without shutting you off. All right, there we go. But I got, see, I got to order the steering column, get it ordered. I'm gonna do the 30 inch with key instead of one without. But I'm also gonna set up that other switch that I have, but that's for a backup. That way I can turn the power on and off, and if it's out somewhere set and if somebody tries to steal it, they're not gonna steal it. Because they ain't gonna have a steering wheel in it and ain't gonna have no power to it. So if they try to steal it, they're not going to, because they ain't gonna know how to turn the power on. I'm gonna hide it somewhere in the vehicle. Let's see, what else? Let's see, I gotta replace the seat. I got this black racing seat right here. This was gonna be an original for the Camaro. But I didn't put it in the Camaro. I mean, I had it in the Camaro, but I took it out. And then I just wound up putting it in my Jeep because it would be more effective for the Jeep to get going again instead of the car. The car would have been cheaper for me to do, but I like driving the Jeep, so I'd rather have the Jeep instead of the Camaro. So I'm probably still going to take the engine and the tranny out of that Camaro and one day put it in this Jeep, or I'm going to take the body of that of the Camaro, take it completely off of it, and actually turn that into something else. That will be for the future for me to say what I'm going to do with it. Depending on what I do with the Jeep and get it going again, that's going to be a project for the future. I've got plans for that Camaro. The Jeep, on the other hand, I painted the windshield frame, but I still got to wait for the windshield to come in because the other one to come in wound up broke. So hopefully this next one I get's not going to be broke. Then I'll get that glued in, get that on, then get that back on the Jeep and get it set up like that, so I'm good with that. Plus, as you can see, I still got to clean my porch off. Like that TV right there, which is like right there. I picked that up a few years ago. You're kind of leaning sideways here, but that's a commercial dishwasher. I'm going to turn into a parts washer at some point once I get everything, all the info on that I need to get it so I can hook it up, because I'm thinking it's 220. I'm not really for sure. If it could be 120, it could be 220. I don't know. I'm going to have to find that out on getting what I need for it to find that out and see how I can plug it in, get it all plugged in and good stuff like that. Anything else I got to go through is like all the boxes and stuff. Most of my mom's stuff when she lived next door that's still here. I got to go through all that. Got to go through stuff out there. And there's a semi-trailer out there. Well, wait a minute, get you over there. Right behind the one building right there, the wood building right there on the trailer. That's behind it. I got to go through stuff in there too. I have some Jeep stuff in there, but it's not what I'm going to use on this Jeep per se. So it's just there. Let's see what else. Couple TVs there. There's old TVs over there I got to get rid of. A lot of stuff there I got to get rid of. Stuff I got to burn. Other stuff I got to get rid of. I want to do some sandblasting too at some point for parts on this Jeep. I got to sandblast. Get that done. Usually if I do the sandblasting and try to video it without doing the fast part, so the noise isn't even there, they mute the whole video. So I don't want to do that. So what I'll do is I'll show you the before on the stuff I'm going to sandblast. And then I'm going to wind up showing you after I get everything sandblasted. Then I have to get it ready for paint and all that kind of good stuff like that and get that done. That way I have it ready for when I put the window back in. Or window frame and window, you know, all that. But I'll video me putting the window in too, because it's an experience for me, because I haven't done it before. I mean, I've done it on like houses and stuff like that, but I've never done it on auto. So that's going to be a new experience for me on how to put that in and glue everything in and all that kind of good stuff like that. So I'll have to work on that. And just basic on everything on the videos I do and stuff like that, on whatever I do either that day. It doesn't matter, whatever I feel like doing, I guess. But there's like these tires, these rims in here. I wound up picking them up off the side of the road. So I don't know if I'm going to wind up, I'm thinking about getting like angle iron and stuff like that, or the square tubing or whatever, and wind up making welding up a go-kart frame and using them tires on this. I'll use these if I can get them to work, or find another tire like it, or get tires or find them somewhere, like on whatever. There's a lot of like free stuff on like Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that you can wind up picking up in the area. Plus I have these, which are down here, these for the front. Hopefully these are actually tubed. I'm not for sure, but they're going to be heck to get off the rim. In case, just in case they don't work, I'll have to see if I can work. Plus I have I have an old riding mower on the side of the house that I have that has tires and stuff on it that can be used. I don't want to use my zero-turn tires because my zero-turn works. So I use it for mowing or whatever when I mow or whatever, which I really got to mow. But I got to clean some stuff up first before I do, because my dogs have put a bunch of bigger sticks that they chew on in the yard, and I don't want to run them over there and ruin my blade, so I'll have to pick all them up at some point. Once it dies down enough for me to actually see what's back there, that way I can find all that, or just weed eat the areas to find all that or whatever. But there's a lot of stuff here. I got to burn all that at some point when I start burning, which will probably wind up, could be maybe sometime during this summer if I clean up enough around here and have like water hoses hooked up and everything, so I don't spread a fire anywhere and just keep it in one area. But I had a burn pit in my backyard, but my fence is so close to that, I don't want to burn that because it's going to get so hot it'll probably burn the posts that the fence are on. I'm not worried about the fence itself, just the posts. The posts are wind up too close and I don't want to ruin posts. Plus I still need to try to get this window out over here. Since this window is, I've never had this window replaced when I've got it, and I got it, God, I don't know, maybe 14, 15 years ago or something like that, I don't know. But it's going to be hard enough trying to get this window out without breaking it, because I got to bring something in and put something in and actually go on the back of it with like a thin wire string or something, I don't know, something tough enough to do it and cut all the way so I can bring it up, then I can clean it up. So actually it won't break, because if it breaks, it's good now, so why break it? So plus you can see it's all rusted up anyhow down here, it's all rusting. So I mean, I can go in and cut all of it off around it, but that'll probably go in and rattle the frame so much that it may wind up just shattering this window. Now, how tough is this? I have the slightest idea. But hopefully it's not tough enough to shatter, but anything can shatter this. Vibrations can shatter it. A limb falling down can shatter it. So I'd rather that not happen. I mean, I started on it trying to get it off, but I ran into this, and it's in there. So whoever put it in knew what they were doing, because it's in there good. They like cemented in or something. But you can see my cat running over there. That's Scrappy going to her little shed over there where she stays. That's where she sleeps, in that little shed over there. Now Rascal, I have another black one, Rascal Bobtail cat, that runs around everywhere. I don't know where he is right now. He may be out hunting or something like that. He winds up going back here and goes hunting back here in the wooded area right there. So he hunts in that wooded area. So I've got some other stuff. I mean, I even got some propane tanks right here I'm going to try making something out of. I got an old air tank I'm going to do something with. I've got other propane tanks out there in that semi-trailer. I've got some right there in that one. I've got one in that building right there. You can see the top of it right there in the corner of that building right there. Plus I have some that are in that semi-trailer back there. Plus I have that old water tank I might be able to do something with. Maybe I can actually start taking it apart and cut into it, make some sort of get the whatever on it painted, get the paint, rust, all that off of it, and turn it into some kind of burner or something. I'm not for sure. I don't know. I can turn it into something. I can use the welder and plasma cutter and turn it into something. But that's just like these propane tanks. I got to make sure there's no gas propane in them whatsoever before I use the plasma cutter on them, because I don't need one of them to blow up. Because if it blows up, that it's metal, steel shatter is coming straight at me, and that'll take me out basically. So I don't want to do that. I want to make sure it's filled with water before I cut into it or use a plasma cutter on it, or grinder, or whatever I use on it, which will probably be wind up grinder. I don't think I'd use a plasma cutter on it, because it's more likely to think something is full of water and it's not, and it's still got gas in the top of it, and it explodes. I'd rather that not happen. I mean, that'll wake everybody up in the area. I'd rather not do that. But that's like that. I got behind Mongoose bike right there, that black one right there. I want to actually redo it. That was in the house for a long time, but I want to wind up redoing that. I mean, I don't ride bikes, but if I redid it good enough and made it look good enough, I could probably sell it. But I think it may be a trick bike or something like that. I'm not for sure. But who knows? I mean, or it could just be a kid that rode it around for a while or whatever, getting into BMX or whatever. Could have been just that. I'm not for sure. But let's see. And I'm gonna start my burn area right there, or right in that area where all that wood is. Then just start throwing that on there and burning that all. Or once my neighbor comes out, and if he starts burning over here, he may come over with the tractor and start picking this stuff up and taking it out there and burn it. That way, if he does that, I don't have to worry about it. Let's see. But you can see right here, that was the dash right there that was on the Jeep that I took off. Am I going to use that again? Probably not. Just like the other area on the dash I took off, because to get it off, I just had to break it. I didn't know how it was set on that, or screwed, or bolted, or nuts on the back of it, or whatever. I just broke it off just to get it out of there, because I didn't want it there anyhow. So I'm going to wind up, got that right there, but I got that just on that rust or whatever, but that's okay. I mean, I'll live. That didn't go that bad anyhow, but it was clear, it was clean anyhow, so I didn't have to worry about it. But I want to change these tires on this Jeep. Not that I don't like the tires that are on it. I actually do like the tires that are on the Jeep. But I want the smaller ones, maybe a little bit like this size, or maybe a little bit this thin size, but like 33s or something like that, instead of these big ones. The real wide ones. I'll use these for, like, if I go trailing, or maybe go do a little mudding or something like that. That's what I'll use them for. But the regular on the street is the 33s that are this size. Like this width and stuff like that, but the 33s. I mean, it'll be a lot better on gas, because these are a gas hog. You go in, I can drive this, I can fill the tank. Within 2 or 3 days, I got to fill the tank again. Like working or something like that. Depending on if I work close or work far away, it's a gas hog. So the engines need, I'm going to wind up doing having the engine rebuilt, stuff like that. But I want to save up and take it to a custom shop and have them do it all. I mean, the engine rebuild, the training rebuild, the transfer case, the front end, the rear end, the body, the interior, all that. Just have them redo the painting and all that, everything. But that costs money, you know, so I'd probably wind up, if I did it, I'd probably want to put probably about $50,000 investment into this Jeep on getting everything done. Because, I mean, I don't think 25 to 30 is going to cut it. You can do it for that, but it won't cut what I want. It's going to cost more for me to get what I want on that. So it's going to be a lot of savings on everything on that, or maybe selling a few things. But, I mean, you can tell I'm basically country. I mean, I've got, like, the wood here. I've got that from my fireplace that's inside that I can cut up when it dries, because I don't want to do it now, because if I start cutting into it now, I just the sap that's in it, the pine sap, the pine resin that's in it, will actually tear a chainsaw up completely. I mean, the chain, it'll just bye-bye. I mean, they'll start gumming it up and messing your chainsaw up. So I gotta wait till that dries, because you can see it start drying on the outside, but that don't mean the inside's good yet. So I just gotta let it dry. I don't want it to dry like my other one back there, because the one right beside it, down there on the ground, that one was pine from back there from a tree I fell. The outer wood was all rotted off, and the inner resin stayed. So that's actually good for getting the fire started and burning hot and stuff like that on stuff. And this is the compressor. I had to fix that, but I have it so it's fixed, but it constantly runs. I can't set it for a certain PSI on doing plasma cutter or anything like that, paint or anything. So I got to get another one of them. So I want to do that because I want to get another one. Because when I go to do like if I want to paint the house or something like that, I want to get the I'll probably get the electric kind that you can just go in. You can sit down and put the end of it into the paint bucket or whatever and just start painting, or set it up like that just to start painting what you want to paint. But it's a lot of paint and it's a lot of fix up. I want to do the roof. I want to actually get clear roof seal to actually do the roof, and so it stays good. I got work to do on that other house over there. I got to do the painting and stuff like that, but I don't want to work on it when somebody lives in it. I'd rather have it empty completely. That way I won't have to worry about it, and I can do it on my time. Then I can rent it out for more when it's done. That's another project for the future. If I don't do it and I die before them, my nephews will, my niece and nephews will do it. Which they're getting the properties anyhow, so it really doesn't matter. I got stuff on the porch I need to get rid of. I got my fridge, outside fridge. That's why I buy like the soda bottles and stuff like that, and I clean them out and use them and put water in them and put them in there in case I'm working outside and I need water. I can go there instead of going inside and getting it. Like if I'm greasy or something like that, the door handle on the grease. So I'm not married or anything, so it really don't matter on that. But I'd rather not walk in clean and have greasy hand by the time I get in or whatever. So rather not have that. Working on that jack over there too. That was my brother-in-law's jack that he had that his son used. They come over when it stayed out or whatever, and they never did anything with it, put it up or whatever, and it kind of rusted. I got the handle free, but I got to take and get the pumps free on it so I could use it as a jack again. I got that to do, and I got to find the parts where I can get the parts for it or the rebuild kit for it or whatever once I find out the type of it and stuff like that, the name brand. Or the numbers, the serial numbers, or whatever to find out what kind it is. That way I can get the rebuild kit for it. Now, the TVs, I don't know if I'm going to do anything with these TVs or not. I mean, if they still work, I may do it. Put them in somewhere, living room or something like that. I'm not for sure, whatever I do. But I got that projection screen for my gaming room that I do in there. I have that. But like I said, I cannot have the top light on to do that because then you can't see what's on the screen. You have to have the lights out. That's why I got those other, the strip lights, like the blue, all them colors. I got that on every remote. I got them. I did my gaming room setup. I have it on here, videoed. And I have a lot to go on that. So I still got some more setup on that I need to do. Get stuff out of there, arrange stuff. I want to, like the tool stuff and stuff like that, I want to actually move it away because I want to clean the back porch off. I'm probably going to throw away a lot of stuff that I don't need no more. I mean, there's no use holding on to it if you're never going to use it. So you might as well just start throwing it away. So that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm just going to start throwing stuff away. I mean, I could sell it, have a yard sale, stuff like that. But, I mean, I've had it for so long. It's old enough. I mean, if it's antique, yes, I'll keep it. But if it's stuff that can't be used by anybody and nobody will use it, I mean, you can get probably something small. You can get like a quarter for or a nickel for or something like that. But why? Just throw it out. Maybe someone will find it that goes through. Looking through garbage. I mean, down here, the garbage can stuff. I mean, nobody's going to come down here looking through my garbage or whatever because it's just garbage. Now, if it was somewhere, if I put it down to the end of the road, like old TVs, old this, old that, somebody wants to pick it up and use it for like going in scrapping and stuff like that. They can scrap the stuff or anything like that. Like just take it down there and let them scrap it. That's like this old AC right here. I mean, I've got the old AC right here. I've got, I think, a few back there on ACs. I think I have one back there. I have an old AC that I can use, like, I can take, like, the compressor motor out of it and stuff like that. Drain the Freon or whatever in it. Well, whatever it is. Freon. Well, AC stuff, whatever. I think it's Freon or whatever it's called. Drain all that out of it, and I can use it. I can turn it into something. I can turn it into like an oil burner or something like that for doing, like, you use the oil, then you can do whatever on it, heat whatever you want to heat. And get the burning wherever, but that stuff's really not good for the ozone layer, so I probably wouldn't do that at all. Now the wood, you can burn the wood and stuff like that. It's not as bad for the ozone layer as the oil would be, or whatever else you put through or comes out of it would be. But I got old stuff I need to redo, like these jack stands. I'm probably gonna wind up cleaning them up and probably redoing them too. And I clean them up, sandblast them, repaint them, and all that stuff. But I may do that. I may use a Rust-Oleum or whatever, so they won't rust or whatever. But and do that with it. That way, I can use them jack stands or whatever when I do the vehicles or whatever like that. I picked up this old spray tank that was off the side of the road. I picked it up. That was just down the road a bit, maybe about a mile. I haven't even seen if it worked yet. It's been out here, so it's probably not good now, but I wasn't going to use it as a sprayer per se. I was going to use it to store water or something like that. If I did a garden or something, I'd have to clean it out real good though. But store water for when I do a garden or whatever. Once I figure out where I want to do a garden and where would the best place be, and I prepare the ground and stuff like that, get all the good soil in and stuff like that to do that. I've got a my sewer drain off is over there, which is right over here. I've got a sewer drain off that's right over in this area over here, towards that fence right there. But I don't want to go right on top of it, because anything big will just go right down into it and mess it up. I can go maybe beside it a little, but I can't do like the nice fruit trees and stuff like that around it or by it. That's not going to be good for it. It's just going to tear that up. I'd probably take it and put it either completely behind it or beside it so far so the roots will not mess with it whatsoever. Or I'll kind of block it when I do it so the roots won't do anything on it or whatever. But I want to fix up a ground area like out back or something like that where there's none of that. So I can do all that and have my set up my sprinkler system out there and stuff like that. But I want to actually set it up so I can bring it into the house, like on the back porch or something, so I can turn it on from the back porch so I don't have to go all the way out to it. Turn it on, let it run, doing stuff inside, editing, whatever I do inside. That way I can just, when it's done, maybe hour and a half to whatever I run it for, shut it off and then do it again another day. But I don't want to do it when the sun's at its peak, because when the sun's at its peak, the water is just going to go onto there and it's just going to burn your plants. You don't want to do that. So I'd have to do it when the sun is good enough. In the morning's good, in the late afternoon's good. Midday, when the sun is at its highest peak, you don't want to do it. Now, if you have a windy day or whatever, it's not. It don't bother the person, but it bothers the plants, because all they look for is sun. Depending on what kind of plant it is, whether it's a fruit, vegetable, or whatever like that. But I've got the seeds and stuff like that inside, but I haven't started a garden yet. I mean, there's a need for it now, but I'm not that. I've done stuff. My parents have done it. My grandma's done it. Stuff like that. That did the garden and all that stuff every year. But fruits, some fruits or whatever. Like, so there was grapefruit trees, orange trees. My aunt and uncle grew a lot of vegetables, radishes, peppers, potatoes, tomatoes, onions, cabbage, all that kind of good stuff like that. Now, during the summer, when I was growing up, I always wanted to play instead of learning from them. Raising chickens and stuff like that, I've learned a lot of that through my aunt. But my uncle did more of the gardening and stuff like that. And he was a real hard man to get along with. So I learned a few things from him, but not much. I was just like my grandfather. He was a hard man to get along with. So I always wanted him to teach me the stuff he knew as welding and stuff like that, but he never allowed me to see anything he does, like around his shop. The grandkids had to stay away from that shop. And I'd go in, I'd learn a lot of stuff from my grandmother instead of my grandfather, because I learned the cooking and stuff like that I do and stuff like that. I learned that through my grandmother and my mother. A lot of stuff, like I said, I wanted to learn through my grandfather, but like I said, he was a real hard man to get along with, and he didn't want any of the grandkids. I mean, it's not that he didn't want us around. He just didn't want us to get hurt. So a lot of the other, I guess, grandkids or whatever has been out there before, got hurt or whatever. I mean, would I have got hurt per se? No. I basically, as I was growing up, I basically raised myself because my parents were working all the time. So you could say I actually raised myself, so I knew what to do and what not to do, although I did go through broken bones and all that kind of good stuff. So I did learn a lot when I was growing up. But it's always good to actually, if you're like parents, grandparents, aunt, uncles that do stuff, get around them and start learning what they know. I mean, they have a lot of valuable stuff to teach you. Learn while you can, because once they're gone, everything's lost. You ain't going to learn it no more. So you want to get to know what you can know before they are gone. So learn from your parents, learn from your grandparents, learn from your siblings, older siblings, learn from your aunt and uncles. Through family, learn whatever you can learn now, because when they're gone, you're not going to learn it from anybody else. Keep your family traditions going strong. You don't want to lose them family traditions. But I've been talking for over a half hour now on stuff that I'm going to do, this, that, and work on and stuff like that. But I'm going to go in and do this here and there and see what I can get myself into. And I'll talk to y'all later. And I hope you all have a great day and y'all stay blessed. Thank you. Y'all stay blessed.